This We the People News arguing about attorney fees.
You may proceed, Ms. Gensler.
Thank you, Your Honor. My name is Colleen Kinsler. I am an attorney for Christopher Hendricks. I have been licensed originally in the state of Illinois since 2009, the state of Texas since 2010, and currently in good standing with the State Bar of Texas. I have been board certified in family law since 2020. My paralegal, Chris Kennedy, is also board certified in family law. It was necessary for Mr. Hendricks to retain my services and the services of my law firm for legal representation in this cause at my hourly rate of $350 per hour, which was all communicated to Mr. Hendricks in writing prior to commencing representation of him. The fees customarily charged in Travis County for similar legal services are similar to the $350 hourly rate. Considering I'm board certified and been practicing for over 10 years. I have primarily only done family law since the time I have been licensed. This fee is both reasonable and not unconscionable. There is no overreaching and negotiating the fee, and a clear explanation was provided to Mr. Hendricks of how the fees were calculated. The fee agreement was not a contingent or a percentage fee. The estimated fees in this case were based on the interest of the client, time labored required, and the issues in dispute. I am showing you what's been previously marked as Respondents Exhibit 16, which is the fee agreement that Mr. Hendricks signed retaining our firm. I'd like to offer Respondents Exhibit 16 into the record.
No objection.
R16 is admitted.
I'm also showing you what's been offered and provided as Respondents Exhibit 17, which is my resume. I'd like to offer Respondents Exhibit 17.
No objection.
R17 is admitted.
And then I would like to offer Respondents Exhibit I'd also like to offer Respondents Exhibit 18 into the record, which is both an attorney's fees and expense summary for the work that has been billed on the case thus far, including in addition to the summary, all of our billing statements since February 8th, 2022, in which Mr. Hendricks hired, which have been redacted. So I'd like to offer Respondents Exhibit 18 as well.
No objection.
R18 is admitted.
Okay. And the modification for the estimate work spent on the case is $18,845. Additionally, we did a breakdown for enforcement by invoice, and Mr. Hendricks has spent $17,899 as well. And so we are asking, especially for the enforcement, that Mr. Hendricks be reimbursed for the enforcement, and then also be reimbursed for the modification as well. I want to get into specifically why I believe Mr. Hendricks should be reimbursed for this enforcement. We all do family law, and the fact that Ms. Mitchum's enforcement.
I would object to this being closing and not testimony about attorney's fees.
And I think this goes to the history of the enforcement and what could have been done differently, and instead was done in the most aggressively litigious way possible, Your Honor.
So that does seem like argument rather than evidence, but you've got the same 5.5 hours that Mr. Gilbreth has, and you can use it however you want.
I'll take it down a notch. Ms. Mitchum did not send a demand letter regarding any of her fees or alleged invoices or receipts alleging what was owed. Ms. Mitchum, at the time that the proof was provided back in February 2022, did not dismiss the enforcement in any way and continued to send discovery and prosecute this matter. As we sit here today, this enforcement is still pending. No attempts were made to work out an agreement in any way. For the modification, Mr. Hendricks ended up having to do, I would say, 3 to 4 deficiency letters, continuing to request unredacted bank statements, unredacted expense statements. Again, as we sit here today in front of you, Your Honor, I'm still having frustrations with the lack of documents and transparency provided by Ms. Mitchum. Mr. Hendricks' position is that this modification was just being done to run up fees, to harass Mr. Hendricks. Ms. Mitchum is claiming that financially that she has to move and relying on the trust, yet in my opinion has played a shell game and has not provided the documents needed. Like I said, the discovery in this issue or in this case, which should have been very straightforward, took several attempts. We had to have a continuance hearing again because we felt like we were missing documents. We attended mediation, and then now we're sitting here today for a 2-day trial. So we are requesting attorney's fees be awarded to Mr. Hendricks, and that those be paid directly to him, so that he can be made whole again. I'll pass myself as a witness.
I didn't have questions.
All right, thank you.
Lisa Weed, People News.